Hey everyone, welcome back. I made a video a while back and I was working back here behind the pond pulling out these boards, and I was talking about how I needed to build up the back of the pond with some soil, and now I finally got the soil. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to start working on. I want to cover up other places where I've got fill with broken concrete and stuff, build up the whole bank, fill in some low spots, fill in some of these areas that are sinking down, cover up stone and broken concrete. I've been back here a couple days ago and I mowed and weed whacked everything down pretty well, so I got a fairly open path. You can see the water iris taking over this part of the pond pretty well. But still, even within that area, there's some spots that could get raised up with some soil, cover up some stumps, rocks, and low spots, holes, spots where I wasn't able to get the wood out of the ground. Just fill in, keep the pond from expanding a little too much, raise up the bank. I should have a nice path around here. Take it, come around at least over to here with some soil. And then I'll probably use the wheelbarrow, but I could also use the lawn tractor with the trailer. We'll see if that works out, but I'll probably start off with the wheelbarrow, and if I use the tractor, I'll just drive all the way around the pond here. Yep, there's a fallen tree I'll have to get rid of if I want to do that. I'll just chop the end off of this with a chainsaw. Alright, so here's our pile of soil. We've got, it's mainly a pile of screen topsoil and a little bit of finished compost. That's for some other projects. That's mostly just leaking over from the other side of the pile. I'll try to rake some of that off and then just dig into the topsoil. We'll see how much of that we can get moved. Hey guys, so it's been a few weeks since I was back here behind the pond moving soil. It got a little wet and I got my lawn tractor stuck over here in the wet area. Now it looks like it's pretty dried out. This is the area where all the, you can see the deer tracks. All the deer and raccoons come down here. It becomes kind of a muddy mess sometimes. Right now I think it's dry enough for me to come through again. Over here is where I got stuck. The lawn tractor is not known for its great four-wheeling ability. But I got a lot more spots I want to put soil, so I'm going to give it a try. I'll see if I can move some more. Oh. Check him out. So yeah, all along the whole edge here I got to bring in more. So we'll see how that works. A little more shoveling, a little more dumping. Let's get started. Okay, so I finally got all that soil moved. Got some of the low spots filled in. Got the bank built up. This is a really low spot here. Got that filled in. Got some nice soil built up along the bank. So what I'm going to do is I've got some perennials that I'm going to transplant back to this area. Fill this in. I've also got some wildflower seed I can spread. Probably better to spread it in the spring, but I'm going to go ahead and put it down now in the fall and hope for the best. So what I need to do is kind of rake this out a little bit, get those perennials transplanted. I think before I do that, I'm going to take down some of these lower hanging branches that are coming down over the area I want to work in, and they're blocking the light. Already taken a lot of those down, but there's a few more, so I'm going to get the chainsaw out. We're going to take a few more of these low hanging branches down, then we'll get started transplanting and planting. Alright guys, well I'm really happy with that. I got this way opened up. Still a few lower branches, but nothing dragging close to the water, and just a lot more light coming back here. It's way more open. All kinds of light coming in. Did a little bit of damage to the water iris, dragging those limbs out, but that's no big deal at all. Next step is I'm just going to rake out the soil a little bit. I'm going to transplant some perennials, transplant and divide some perennials, and I got a few seeds I'm going to spread. And that's what's left to do. Alright, so here are these big Joe Pye weeds, these big purple eupatorium. They're cool, but they're too tall for this bed. They're just about done flowering. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them back. I'm going to dig them up, cut them into a few pieces, and we're going to move them out behind the pond. Alright, so over here on this side of the house we've got some plain old orange daylilies. They're just about done for the year, and in this spot they're really hard to see from inside the house or from outside the house. So I'm going to move some of those behind the pond too. Alright, so we got a nice cartload full of perennials here. Let's get some of them planted. Alright guys, so I got some perennials transplanted back here. Didn't plant anything above here where my discharge pipe is. This is where, as the pond overflows, it flows out through that pipe. So I kind of like having access to that. I'm not going to plant anything right in front of that, but we've got some other perennials planted on this soil that I moved in. Some of that Joe Pye weed, going to grow nice and tall out here in this open sunny area. Some daylilies, and then I got some wildflower seed that I probably should have spread in the spring, but this is when the project got done, and I'm sure if some of this takes root, we'll see it next year. I'm just going to spread it and hope for the best. Alright guys, took me way too long to get that project done, but now it's done. The soil moved in, I got plants transplanted, I got seeds spread. We're supposed to get some rain tomorrow, so all of this stuff is going to get some water. I'm really happy with how it's turned out. I think come spring we're going to see a really nice showing for a lot of these plants. And I have other plans too. I hope everybody out there is doing well. Thanks a lot for sticking with me to the end of the video. I wish you all well, and I hope to talk to you again real soon.